Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family. I have made a cake from my husband's family's cookbook. They created this cookbook in 1975. And in this book is a recipe for Tell Your Neighbor cake. And it is made with a German chocolate cake mix. So I made it today. It's delicious. And I want to show you how I made it. Look at that beautiful piece of cake. Yes, I took a bite, and it is delicious. So while I enjoy my slice of cake, I hope you enjoy watching how I made it. Let's make pound cake. I have been craving a pound cake, and I didn't know what I wanted to make. So I pulled out the old family recipe book. I've showed you guys this before. It's from on my husband's side of the family. From a family reunion, everybody pitched in their recipes, 1, 2, or 3, whatever they wanted. And it is dated May 18, 1975. So this book is very precious to me. And I found a recipe in this book that sounded interesting to me. I've never heard this before, and it's called Tell Your Neighbor cake. It is simple. It uses a boxed cake mix and just a very few ingredients. So let's get started on it, okay? It calls for 1 German chocolate cake mix. You can't get any simpler than starting with a cake mix. It has everything measured out for you already. You don't have to do anything. I'm using Duncan Hines, but you use whatever brand you want or that you have. So we're going to dump this right in our mixing bowl. Then it calls for 1 package of instant chocolate pudding mix. This is the 3.9 ounce size. It's a 4 serving size. So let's get this put in. It's just kind of a dump and mix. There's not a lot of steps to it. 1 cup of water. There we go. And 4 eggs. I have large eggs. Typically I have extra large. But you know, the price of eggs, our local grocery store here had a special. You could get a dozen eggs for free if you purchased $10 or more. So you better believe I did. And that's 2. But if they're small, I would put in another one. But these are not small, on the small side. For large eggs, they're nice size eggs. And that's 4. Let me rinse my hands. When messing with raw eggs, I keep my hands washed. And that's it. That's all the ingredients it calls for. So I'm going to get this on here. Let's put on the paddle. Now it tells me to blend it at low speed just till I get it moist, and then blend it at a medium speed for 8 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. And if it's loud, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to keep you on here the whole 8 minutes while I mix this up. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on up. And I'm going to let this mix for 8 minutes. And then when I come back, I'm going to show you what this beautiful batter looks like, okay? Stay with me. Okay, our batter has been in the mixer for 8 minutes. Now, I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I've got it set for the middle rack, which I usually do anyway. So I have used a baking spray, use your favorite kind, and sprayed my Bundt pan. So now we're going to pour this mix in there. I want to make sure that all that is mixed up in the bottom. Can you see this rich batter? Look at there. I can't wait to try this. I have never made a cake like this before, not a Bundt pound cake. So I'm anxious to see how this comes out. All right, let's get that. Sorry about that. Looky here. You see how delicious that looks? So I'm gonna bake this. It says to bake it for 50 to 60 minutes. Now, you all know by now, my oven bakes a little bit on the slow side. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in for the full 60 minutes because it's gonna need it, if not a little bit more. Alexa, set a timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
I want to read you something that I found in this cookbook. I started it off, and it's called A Recipe for a Happy Family. 1 cup of freedom, 1 1/2 cups helping others, 1 whole picture of love, 1 whole family not separated, 2 tablespoons of belonging, 4 teaspoons of fun, 2 1/2 cups of success, 1/2 cup of cleanliness inside and out, 1 cup of honesty, 1/4 cup of understanding. Enough work to reach your goal. A, mix all ingredients together until well blended into a small body. B, store extra amounts in school, church, home life, neighborhood, cities, and nation. C, if used daily amounts through a whole lifetime, a happy home is guaranteed. D, not only for you, but perhaps for some people near and dear to you. Yield 1 large portion of happiness for each family member. How about that? How about that? But I'm excited. I want to start cooking a little more for y'all out of this book. And I'm going to let this bake. And when I come back, I'm going to make a glaze to go over this cake. You're going to be surprised what it is. I have taken our cake out of the oven and I have let it cool. Isn't that beautiful? Now I'm going to transfer it to my cake plate. And we're going to make a beautiful glaze to go on it. Yeah, and it's tender. It feels real tender. I'm used to pound cakes being a little more dense. I can't wait to try this one. Okay, so let's make our glaze. Now, this tells me to use 2 cups of sifted confectioner's sugar. So let's get that sifted. That's 1. And 2 cups. Yeah, it's a little bit lumpy, so I think we need to sift it. I almost got it here. You know, if you wanted to, instead of making a glaze, you could just dust this cake with powdered sugar. It would be just fine. And I'm almost guessing, since it's a German chocolate pound cake, you wanted to make some German chocolate frosting, or just buy you a tub of already made German chocolate frosting and put it on there. It would be delicious. Take the shortcuts when you can. We did with using the cake mix. Let's wipe up a little bit, okay? Okay, so it calls for this, a dash of salt. And we're just going to do that. And 3 tablespoons of instant coffee. And 1 teaspoon of instant coffee and 3 tablespoons of water. So in place of that, I'm using 3 tablespoons of my leftover breakfast coffee. And I'm going to put it in here. And we're going to hope that was enough. And oh, it is. Can you imagine how this is going to taste? I don't do it all the time, but sometimes if I'm making a chocolate cake or something chocolate, I'll put a little bit of coffee in it. And especially if I have instant espresso. I didn't have any today, so that's why I just used leftover coffee. I'm not going to add a a flavoring in here, an extract, because I don't want to take away from that coffee flavor. Looky there. Oh, isn't that beautiful? So, let's do this. Now, can you see that gorgeous cake? We're going to drizzle this right over the top. Can you see that? I can tell you what Mr. Jones is going to do. He's going to come in, he's going to see this, and he's going to get his fork, and he's just going to dive into it. And then he's going to come around the edge here and scoop up that glaze. Looky there, how pretty. Let's try a piece. Let's try some. Just a small piece. Now, looky there. See the inside of that cake? It's soft, it's moist. Let's try this corner right here. Guys. All I need now is a cup of coffee to go with this. I hope you'll make this. And let me know if you do, as I certainly like hearing from you all. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when I post another video. See you next time. Bye, everybody.